Welcome. Here we go. It's another beautiful day down here in Cabo San Lucas. We have a really good show for you today. Hopefully, we get a few people here. We're just going to kick back and get a few more people on here before we get going. But thank you all for joining us today. Your saltwater guide. Whoa! Captain Dave Hansen coming to you live from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I want to thank you all for joining us. Hope you're having a good day. I hear it's still a little stormy up in SoCal, but it's going to get nicer. It looks like, and it's going to be a great weekend. Gang, we have a lot to talk about today. I cannot believe what. First of all, you have to understand, you don't know who I voted for, and I don't care who you voted for, and none of that matters. But what's going on right now, gang, and I'm trying to pull this up right now, it's absolutely unbelievable. The President of the United States of America has decided now, it just doesn't stop, gang. It just doesn't stop. And we're going to talk. I know I'm the super most happy human on the planet. I love my life and I have a great life, and I try to not share negative, and we're going to do our very best to spin this into a positive way here. There's my beautiful monkey up there. Marley's kicking back, having fun. Those of you that are just here to see Marley, he's right there above my right shoulder. That's Marley. He's looking out there to see you, gang. I have no idea why we're on a mission to stop fishing. I don't know what that's all about. It blows my mind. One thing, and I'm going to read this article in a minute, but one thing I want to talk about first is what you all don't get. And you need to understand this. And those of you that have listened to me for a long time, you know what I'm going to say. We, as fishermen with a rod and a reel and one hook or two hooks, going out fishing for fun on our day off or on our vacation, we do not have an adverse effect on the population of fish in the ocean. We do not. I don't care. I will argue with you you can tell me you're the greatest fisherman in the world, and every time you throw your line in the water, fish just jump on your line, and you fill your boat up and it overflows with fish every time you go. And I would tell you, great, good for you. You're the best fisherman on the planet. You still don't have an adverse effect on the population of the fish in the ocean. Nope, not even you, Mike Lewis, not even you. So I am once again blown away by these people that want to keep shutting down fishing. It doesn't make any sense to me in any way, shape, or form. And it's constant. It's never ending. It's just like the moment we turn the corner from one bull poopy, hey, Marley, one closure, they're right. They don't even slow down. They're just right on to another closure. They just can't help it. Now, this fine young president we have in office right now, this beautiful young man who's super sharp, he has just decided before he leaves office, he is going to designate 770,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean as a new marine sanctuary. My gosh. And what's he going to do with it? He's going to put those fish killing, whale killing, bird, or Tommy summed it up perfect the other day on our show, those salad shooters, those wind farms, which is a scam at the most highest level of scams in the history of the planet. He's going to designate this ocean, this Pacific Ocean, the one right out here on the left coast, the big Pacific Ocean. He's going to keep it so that he can harness the energy of the ocean to make power, which is bull crap. All it's going to do is kill marine mammals. It's going to kill birds. It's going to kill zillions of fish. And then it's going to kill the most prized possession of our world, the whales. But that's okay. I don't get it. But you and I going out fishing with our grandkids and catching a couple of fish, we're we're the main focus of this. It doesn't make any sense, gang. I can't believe it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a news story that came up today, and I saw it on a bunch of different platforms. My good buddy Mike Lewis sent it to me here on my phone so I could read to you. Joe Biden on Tuesday issued a presidential memo directing the Secretary of Commerce to consider designating about 777,000 miles of the Pacific Ocean to a new national marine sanctuary. That would make it the largest ocean area on the planet and the highest level of protection, Biden said. The plan includes offshore wind farming, which we know is just the worst thing possible to the environment. That is the biggest farce ever made. That's killing whales full speed back east right now, full speed. And we have way more whales that travel our coastline than they have back east. And nobody seems to care about the whales anymore. And I don't know what happened. When I grew up, everything was save the whales, save the whales, save the whales. Now it's like, we don't care about the whales anymore. We're just going to wail on them. We're just going to wipe them out for this baloney crap that they're trying to spoon feed you down your throat about these wind farms, which it would take one wind farm about 20 years to produce the energy that it's going to take to make the damn wind farm and plant that in the ocean. And if one whale dies, that's too many whales. And like Tommy said, these things are salad shooters. These things shoot birds out all over the place. They grind them up and spit them out the backside. These poor birds, they didn't grow up with a giant fan in the middle of the ocean. They don't understand it. They don't know what it is. And they're just flying like they normally do. And then wham, they hit that salad shooter and they shoot out the other side. No one's talking about that. The only thing they talk about is you and me going fishing with our grandkids, and we're the enemy. And remember what I told you a few years ago. Anybody with a suntan is the enemy. And I don't care what side of the fence you stand on. Both sides are into this thing. Both sides are getting paid by these companies to build these wind farms and slaughter all these animals out in the ocean for what? For nothing. But they're going to say that it's you and me and our grandchildren out fishing. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Are you out of your ever-loving mind? You're out of your mind, okay? He said it will reduce international shipping emissions. And there's actually people that believe this bull crap. There's actually people that believe because they read it or they saw it on an article or they saw it on a news channel and they actually believe it. Gang, I'm going to try to help you out here a little tiny bit so you can understand what's going on. And I've done this before and we're going to do it again. And I'm sorry. You know me. I offend people every single day, and I'm sure I'm going to offend somebody right now. So stay tuned. Hold on tight because this one's going to blow your mind. I'm 61 years old, okay? So I've been around a couple of days, seen a few different things, and I've watched this fear factor thing over and over and over again. Joe Rogan worked on a show called Fear Factor that they got the name from what they did to us in the 60s and in the 70s. When I was a young man, we were told that a desktop made out of a thin piece of plywood could protect us from a nuclear holocaust. Yep. We were told to dive underneath your desk when the horn went off. Okay. First fear factor that I remember as a child. About an hour after that, they told us that our cars, all the paint was going to get washed off our cars with this new thing that was coming down the pipe in the 70s called acid rain. And then about an hour after that, we had this giant disaster going on. We were out of fossil fuel. There wasn't any more fossil fuel on the planet Earth. And you had to set in line for hours at a time to get gasoline. Then an hour after that, they told us that our moms had created a hole in the ozone. And all the greenhouse gases were escaping so fast that we were all going to freeze to death. These are all real things. Google them. Look them up, gang. These are real things that have happened in my short little time on the planet. Now we're all going to die of global warming. Gang, I got an idea. Come down here to Cabo, rent a car, and drive back up to San Diego. Drive the Baja. This whole Baja Peninsula was underwater, and you can see it. As you're driving up the Baja, you can see shells sticking out of the side of the mountain. You can see giant areas that were beaches at one time, but now it's high and dry and it's a giant desert. What earth are we living on? Was it right when it was all underwater? Or is it right that it's not underwater? Gang, it's all a bunch of crap. They're trying to scare the living bejesus out of you. And the last problem is you and me and our grandkids fishing. Gang, I'm just trying to help you. These are all real things that you can see that they're trying to feed you. And now they're trying to tell you that the only thing that's going to save us is to stop fishing. Gang, that is the farthest thing from the truth. It's not going to help anything. It's all about control. It has been for a very long time, for my short time on the planet. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're right, left, middle. I don't care. It's all about control, ladies and gentlemen. And they want to make sure that you don't go outside. They want to make you stare at your phone or at your computer all day, every day, and don't go outside. And man, I am enemy number one. I have a suntan, so they really are after us. Anybody that goes outside, and now the only thing you can come up with that's going to save us. Now, remember, out of fossil fuel, all of our cars were like tanks back in the late 60s, early 70s. We all drove big tanks around. LTDs and Gran Torinos and just giant 8-cylinder cars. And then all of a sudden, the only thing that was going to save us was to buy cars from Japan or China. And all of a sudden, Datsuns and Nissans and all those foreign cars showed up on the scene. Gang, it's crazy. Just be careful out there and understand that this fishing thing is super important to all of us, and we need to stay focused on the problem at hand. We need to get involved with CCA. It's super important to make sure that you are a member of CCA and you can stay up on all these things, because remember, we were just talking about this 30 by 30 thing, and we were all talking about it and how important it was to stay involved. And then Joe Biden just comes out of nowhere and wants to close the whole Pacific Ocean. He doesn't talk about, but if you guys on the East Coast don't think he's coming after the Atlantic, you might want to pay attention to what's going on out here. Be involved. Stay focused on keeping the ocean open to fishing, gang. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to get banned. I'm not trying to get shut down. I'm just trying to help us all understand what's going on today. What is going on? CCA is the only thing we have that's working and giving us a voice at the table. So make sure you stay informed. Make sure you watch what's going on. This hit me like a 2x4 in the side of the head yesterday when it came through. And then Mike Lewis threw it out at me again this morning. And I'm like, we got to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. We need to talk about this. That is incredible that they want to stop fishing. That is incredible. Here we are. We already lost a month of rockfish. We lost a whole month. Yeah, if you don't understand, if you're new, we used to open rockfish season up on March 1st. This year, we open it up on April 1st. So we already lost a month there. Everywhere we go, every time we turn around, they're coming after the sport fishermen. There's a big push on the West Coast. It has gone on for the last 10 years to get rid of live bait fishing. The forage fish are being devastated by the bait boats, they're saying, which is ridiculous, because when we're live bait fishing, 90% of that bait goes back into the water alive. Remember, we're chumming, we're fishing, we're doing all that stuff. That bait is going back in the water alive, or it's feeding the fish while we're out there fishing. It's the craziest thing. They want the bait. Every time we turn around, they want something else from the sport fishing industry, something else. They got to take something else from us. This thing that Biden, let's just hope it's a pipe dream and it doesn't ever happen. But the focus right now needs to be on this 30 by 30 thing. They're going to close 14% more of the ocean on top of the MLPs, and then they're going to come after the lakes and streams, the high Sierras. I was talking to a couple of my buddies yesterday who went and caught their first fish with their grandpa when they were little kids in the Sierras. They caught their first trout. They caught their first fish of their life, and they're my age now, and they remember it like it was yesterday. And they want to take that away. They want to take away any time or anything that's going to make you smile. And gang, I don't know what we're going to do, but I know that setting down, sucking our thumbs and hoping somebody else fixes it for us, that's not the key. That's not the answer. It's still the United States of America. We the people, it says it on everything. It's super important. We the people are us. We're the government. We are it. We all need to be united and understand that, hey, if we work together on this social media thing and we all come united and come together, we can help stop all these different silly things that they're trying to do to us to control us. But fishing is never, ever, ever, ever the reason. Going sport fishing is never, ever the reason. That is what's going on with our power down here. Uh-oh. And there's no wind and there's no rain down here in Cabo, but our lights are flashing on and off, and I don't know why. But maybe they're trying to shut us down. But gang, fishing with the rod and reel with your grandkids or your children or your best buddy or your wife or your significant other, that has never been the problem and it never will be. But we're the lowest hanging fruit on the tree. And one thing I can promise you is there's a whole bunch of you sitting here watching. We got like 60, 70 people watching live right now. There's a couple of you that don't agree with me. That's the problem with us, sport fishermen. We can't agree on anything, so that makes it super easy for the takeaway. And they keep taking and taking and taking. And it's time for us to stop allowing them to take, and we all have to be united. And I don't know any other organization that's working for us like CCA is the only voice we have at the table, because they're sure the heck ain't going to listen to Captain Dave if I go storming in there like, me with my big mouth booming in there. It's going to shut down the whole wherever I go. So the best thing is to have a guy with a calm head like Wayne who can actually sit and listen to this rhetoric and then pick the parts out. And he brought up a bunch of really cool things at the PCS show when he was live on our show about the MLPs when they came in. I wasn't even looking at it, but they closed down all these MLP areas and then they didn't do anything in them. They didn't plant kelp. They didn't get rid of the trash. They didn't get rid of the sea lions. They didn't change the way that the sewer treatment plants work. And these pipes for the sewer treatment dump right out into these MLPs. Also, all the urban runoff and all the trash and everything else that goes into these MLPs. They didn't do anything. They just closed down the ocean and walked away and went on to their next bright and shiny object and left us all standing there with our jaws hanging going, huh? What just happened? Well, what happened was none of us showed up. The guys on the inside, there was a few hundred of us that showed up to every meeting, but the public, they didn't come. They weren't there. They weren't showing up. They weren't helping. We all need to be involved, gang, because this is going to keep on keeping on. It's going to not stop. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. You've got to pay attention to what is going on. You have to pay attention and you have to be involved. This is super imperative, especially the way we're getting from all sides. So let's just try to get united, try to get involved with CCA. I'll put it back up on the screen here for a few minutes. CCA California.org. CCA California.org. Get involved. Talk. Send your questions to Wayne. If you want to know anything, he answers everybody's questions. Him and Chris are very, very good at keeping you informed. But if you're just sitting on the sideline, sucking your thumb, going, I can't believe they're going to close something else again. Well, yeah, if you're not going to help us keep it open, they're certainly going to close it. That's their job. That's what they want to do. So help us, pay attention, gang, and always understand that I will be here for you. I will try to give you as much information as I can whenever it comes out. Those of you that haven't downloaded my app yet, try to get my app downloaded. We got the rockfish season coming up. It's going to be going here on April 1st. We have tons of rockfish spots. We have lots of things that you can do to improve your ability to catch fish anywhere on the planet Earth. A lot of the stuff that I talk about on the app, on my website at Your Saltwater Guide, and hit that QR code. I'm going to pull it down here in a second. So if you haven't hit the QR code yet, grab it real quick. I'm going to pull it down here. But you want to make sure that you are giving yourself the very, very best opportunity to catch fish when you go fishing. That's why that app, that's why my website is so important to so many people's success. When they go fishing on their private boats, they go to our website or our app first, get as much information as they can, and then they go out fishing. Gang, you can never tell me that sport fishing is ever a problem, ever. It's a solution all the time to things that are going on in your life, things that are going on in your family. You get out there on the water, you get out there on a pier, you get out there on the beach, and you cast your line in the water. And all of a sudden, everything that's going on in your head is focused on the end of that line and the end of that string and getting a bite. And you forget about all the baloney going on in your life, in the world, in your family. That's why fishing can never be the problem, but it is always the answer. There's nothing better than getting out on the water and casting your line out there. And like I said, the moment it hits the water, your main focus is how to get a bite. And it becomes such a beautiful part of a family of taking your grandkids or your children out fishing or your significant other, and you have that ability to catch fish. That is so special. That is such a special time, such a special thing in life. And Michael Folks asked me on the interview he did with me back a year and a half ago, what would you say the most important thing about fishing is for you, Dave? And I would say the bite. That is the number one thing I'm focused on, is getting a bite when I go fishing, or getting a bite from my passengers or my friends or whoever's out on the boat fishing with me. I am laser beam focused on getting a bite. That's the only thing that matters. You got to get a bite. You can't catch a fish if you don't get a bite. The bite is the most important thing. So when you get out there on your boat the next time, think about how special it is to actually be able to go out on the pier or go out on the beach or go to your favorite trout stream. How special that is to be able to do that. And I really believe, as citizens of the United States of America, that's one of our rights, to be able to fish. And I don't understand why it's so important for these people that are in charge right now to take away this special, special thing that we all have. And that's the ability to go fishing. That's such a release of all the toxins inside of you, to get out there on the water and actually fish. It is such a special thing to do, such a special time on the water. And like I told you, I'm going to bring this right back around and try to be super positive. I don't want to get banned off of any social media platform. That's not my plan. My plan is to make sure that I keep it as positive as I can whenever I speak. And I just needed to talk about what they're trying to impose again on us with all the other things that are going on, the closures. Fishing is such an important part of my life, my family's life, my children, my wife, and 90% of my friends, their whole world revolves around sport fishing. That's why I know it is the answer. That's why I know for a fact that it is the thing, that it's the most important thing, and we cannot lose this no matter what. How's the monkey? He's doing good, Steven. He's jumping around. He's right there in the box, right above my right there. That's Marley in the box right there. He's sticking his little head out because he heard Steve. Uncle Steve was asking how he's doing. He's doing great. But like Steven, your whole life's been around fishing. You're as old as I am. And what do you like to do besides fly your glider? You like to go fishing. You like to go fishing so much that you gave up your phenomenal pool cleaning business to get back on the boats and be a cook at 60 years of age. and stand out there on the ocean because you love fishing so much. Gang, we cannot lose this sport fishing thing. Anywhere, California, Texas, Florida, wherever, we cannot lose this. It's so important. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to stay involved and stay in touch with all these things that they're trying to do to us to keep us off the water. I don't understand why that's so important. I understand the giant uh, push for cleaner energy. I understand that. That makes all the sense in the world to me. But if it is clean, not if it's not clean, and just don't throw stuff out there. And we already all know that it's not clean because we know it takes dirty energy to make these clean energy things. It's all about fishing, gang. It all comes back. It all comes back. It all comes back to fishing. Everything in my life comes back to fishing. That's the best way to relax. That's the best way to enjoy life. That's the best way to disconnect from all the garbage going on in the world today is to throw your line in the water and focus on the end of your line and think about getting that bite. I didn't want to throw a bunch of negative out at you, gang, but I just could not just let that one just set on the side. I had to get it out there. But gang, we going to have tomorrow is Text the Show Thursday. My beautiful wife will hopefully join us. If it all depends on if I'm a good boy today and the rest of the day and tonight. If I'm good, you'll see Kelly Girl with us. You need to text us at 949-374-0786. We will try to answer all your questions tomorrow. Those of you on Spotify and Apple and Megaphone, you can send in your questions today. We will get them answered tomorrow for you on air. Leave your name because Kelly loves to give away a shirt at the end of the show to one lucky texter. She loves to give you guys a gift. So make sure you leave your name on the text because it doesn't show up unless you're already a good friend and it's in my phone. But I was just reading a message and I shouldn't do that. Kelly says that takes away from the show and I apologize. But text the show today or tomorrow. Your questions for Kelly Girl or myself. We'll be more than happy to try to answer them for you. And one lucky texter will win that free shirt tomorrow. Gang, go over and look at my friend. Please check out their candy. This candy is insane. These caramels, they have salted caramels, they have chewy caramels, and they have pecan caramels. The website's right there. The website's right up on, it's right up there on the screen. Please go and order yourself some candy from Craig and his wife. It will really help their family out tremendously. And it would show them a lot of support. It would show me some support. Those of you that had the caramels at the show, at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, I know you all ordered lots of them, and I thank you for that. But try to jump on their website and order some caramels. And Craig and I are going to put together a little contest next month, and they'll give away a bag of caramels, big bag. But check out their website, carriescaramels.com. And gang, I don't know what to do here except try to keep you as informed as I possibly can because we cannot lose another piece of, we can't lose any more of the ocean. We can't lose any of the land to not being able to fish. It's so important. I wish I could get in front of these people that want to close it and make them understand how important it is to the livelihood and people's brains and how important it is to bring down, and it makes it a calming effect. It's super important, gang, to stay informed. CCA is a good company to get involved with because it's the only voice we have at the table here in California. One more time, I throw it up there on the screen. Make sure you go over there, hit that QR code, get involved, get involved, get involved, get involved, because you can't sit on the sidelines anymore and suck your thumb. It's about us trying to make sure that we keep everything open. Thank you all for joining us today. That's all I got for you today. Tomorrow we'll answer all your questions we can. I hope I can't believe how many people enjoyed that rockfish show yesterday. Thank you all very, very much. Oh, and my sister's got those rock cod squirts at Dana Wharf. They got delivered this morning. She only got 60 of them. If you get down to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, if you don't like buying stuff online, you get down to Dana Wharf. She's got them right now. They're not going to last. I told her, you only got 60? Holy mackerel. But get down there to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and see Corey or my sister and get a couple of those packs of those rock cod squirts because you're going to need them here. Fish is going to open faster than you know it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Great show. And don't forget, we got the great Phil Friedman going to be on the show on Friday, live with us. And if you don't know who Philip is, you're going to love this show because I'm going to let you all know. We're going to interview him from the start of his career to where he is now. He is an integral part of sport fishing in Southern California. He made sport fishing relevant in California, which was super important. So make sure you tune in on Friday for that Phil Friedman the podcast with Phil. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great day. Stay tuned.